Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. I share a number of different types of videos from cleaning motivation to cooking and grocery hauls, day in the life videos, our homeschool stuff. So go ahead and stick around, hit that bell for notifications, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe so that you will know when I put out more content. All right, today fall has rolled in. The temperature has dropped just a little bit out here in Texas. I mean, we're still wearing shorts, but it is not nearly as hot today. So I thought I would share a really awesome comfort food meal with you guys. This is definitely a fall feel to it. We're going to do some roasted chicken with some roasted potatoes and some Southern style green beans. Now, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and prep our chicken. I am using leg quarters. So leg quarters are a super cheap cut of meat. I can usually get 8 to 10 leg quarters for less than $5, about $4.90. That's why I've chosen to go this route because it makes this super budget friendly. You could do a whole chicken if you want. That's fine. It works just the same, just a longer cooking time. I would steer clear of just plain white meat though, because it will definitely dry out in this roasting process. Now, as you can see, I do have this on a roaster pan. If you don't have a roaster pan, go ahead and just make some foil balls or like a foil snake in the bottom of your pan to just elevate the chicken off the bottom of the pan. That's going to give you better results. It's going to get a little crispier all around, and it's going to have better flavor. Now, the first thing I did was to go ahead and pat this chicken dry. We do want the outside to be nice and dry. I did, soak up the chicken juices that spilled in the bottom of the pan so they don't burn and get nasty. And as you can see, I do have a bowl of butter pads there. There's about 8 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to shove 2 little pads of butter underneath the skin of each one of these leg quarters. I mean, a leg quarter is essentially 2 servings of chicken. It is your thigh and your drumstick. So I feel like it's pretty reasonable to put 1 tablespoon per serving on the chicken. I never said this was a healthy meal. I said it was a good meal. I said it was comfort food. Butter is required for comfort food. So now that the butter is up underneath the skin of the chicken, it's going to help just kind of keep it moist and delicious and juicy and tender while we roast this. We're going to go ahead and season this now. I'm using the blend by Kinder's, which is just salt, pepper, and garlic powder. But you can go any direction you want with this. You could do a barbecue blend seasoning. You could do lemon pepper. You could throw some herbs in there. I mean, it really is up to you. I'm just keeping it simple tonight. You're just going to roast some chicken, It's going to have some flavor on it. It's going to be delicious. So I'm going to start by sprinkling this seasoning blend underneath the skin with that butter and just kind of rubbing it just a little bit. We want it to get down in that meat. It's great to season the skin and it does impart some flavor, but getting underneath it is where we really want to focus because that's the meat we're actually going to be eating and we want it to be seasoned. So I'm going to get my seasoning underneath the skin of the chicken first. And then you'll see me go along and sprinkle the outside of each one of these leg quarters with seasoning. And I am pretty generous with it too. I mean, you really want some good flavor here. And because I'm using such a simple spice blend, I am being very, very generous with it. So we're just going to sprinkle that on and we are going to pop this into a 350-degree oven and we're going to let it roast for an hour. Now, I know an hour seems like a long time, but this is dark meat. We want the outside of it to be crisp and delicious. So trust me on this one, an hour is perfect. It's going to be cooked perfectly. Now to go with it, we're going to do some baby potatoes. I don't often buy these, but I have seen people make them this way a million times. It looks so delicious. So I wanted to give it a shot. And you know what? It is as delicious as I thought it would be. It's super simple. I love this. I'll be making it again. Right now, I'm just slicing these baby potatoes in half and tossing them into a bowl. Now, if you don't have any baby potatoes and you want to use regular potatoes, that's a-okay. Go ahead and just slice your potatoes into big rounds. Keep them, I'd say, about an inch or so thick, and you'll get the same effect for the most part. What we're looking for is crisping up the side of these potatoes that is laying on our cookie sheet, which would be the cut side. They're going to be so delicious and so crispy and so yummy. This is definitely, in my opinion, better than any French fry I have ever had. The texture is amazing. The flavor is beautiful. I simply cannot recommend this method enough, guys. But as you can see, I'm just still slicing all of these potatoes. There is a lot more potatoes in these little bags than I thought there were. I'm not sure how many pounds this bag was, but this was a little bit more than we needed for one night, but not by much. They went pretty quickly. Everybody in my household did enjoy them. Like I said, we do have just a little bit left over. which is going to be perfectly fine because leftovers are wonderful. It just means another night, another meal I don't have to worry about. I do enjoy cooking meals that have a lot of leftovers. And here lately, I've been doing that and saving the leftovers so we can eat them, the last 2 days of the week. And that just kind of makes it easier for me when our week's coming to an end, especially when grocery day rolls around and stuff. I don't have to worry about cooking. Now, as you can see here, I do have a large cookie sheet and I've lined it with foil. That is simply for easiness. Really, to be quite frank with you, I don't want to have to scrub a cookie sheet when I'm done. So I've lined it with foil. They're going to crisp up beautifully on aluminum foil, just like they would on the cookie sheet. So I did toss some olive oil onto these potatoes. I was pretty generous with it. I'd say about 3 tablespoons probably. And now I'm using that same seasoning I used on the chicken. It's salt, pepper, garlic powder. And you could use anything here that you want to. You can throw in some herbs if you feel like it. Even taco seasoning can probably be pretty tasty. But I'm keeping it simple tonight. I did go heavy with the seasoning because potatoes are very bland and they kind of soak up the flavor. And in my opinion, just need a little bit of an extra kick to get them where I want them to be. So I tossed on some extra seasoning there, and then I've tossed them around for a little while, made sure every potato has lots of seasoning. And now here is the key to these potatoes. When you pour them out, you need to make sure that every one of them is laying cut side down on your cookie sheet. I did try to leave a little space around each one as well so that the heat could get all around the potato and just help it cook better. But as you can see, I am taking my time. I am making sure each one is face side down, flat on the cookie sheet. And that is what gives you that beautiful brown crispiness on that cut side. It is to die for. All right, my potatoes look perfect. They're laid out beautifully and they are ready to go. I'm going to pop them in the oven and they are going to cook the same amount of time as our chicken. Trust me, they are going to roast, they're going to brown, they're going to be beautiful. All right, let's move on to these green beans. I have seen these on a number of different people's channels before with a few variances with just a little more of this or a little less of that. So I'm going to give it a shot. And I will tell you, spoiler alert, they were amazing. I'll be making these again for sure. So the first thing I did was drain 2 cans of green beans and then dump them into my pot right there. There's a little tiny amount of juice left. That's fine. Not a big deal. And then it called for 4 tablespoons of butter, which is exactly what I had left from that stick. So I went ahead and just tossed that right in. And then it called for, I believe it was like 7 slices of bacon. I didn't have any bacon thawed. All my bacon was frozen. But I have these real bacon pieces that I purchased. So I just went ahead and threw in what I guessed to be close to 7 slices of chopped up bacon. It was probably like a third of one of those small bags of real bacon pieces. And then it called for 7 teaspoons of soy sauce. This was fairly similar for all the recipes I looked at. Then it called for brown sugar. All the recipes called for between 3 tablespoons to a quarter cup. I'm not exactly sure how much I poured in there. I was shooting for about 4 to 5 tablespoons and a big glob fell out there at the end. So I was probably a little heavy on it, but that's okay. And then I only saw this in one recipe, but I really did want to incorporate it. So I'm going to go ahead and toss in some garlic powder because I just feel like that extra flavor will be wonderful. And you know what, guys? I was right. It was amazing. Then you're just going to let these cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I did add a little bit of extra water because I felt like the soy sauce was going to burn if I wasn't careful. If you don't know, that soy sauce does burn easily. But I just let these cook and simmer and do their thing. And here is the finished product. This was our dinner. It was amazing. Hello, fall. I'm so glad you're here. This is the perfect Kickstarter fall meal for my household. It was wonderful. I hope you guys try this one at home. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Big thumbs up for the video, and I will see you guys really soon. Have a great one. Bye.